The trail wasn't on the map. That should have been the first warning. There were 6 of us at the start: Lena, Marcus, Jace, Tori, Ben, and me, laughing, arguing over snacks, pretending we weren't already lost. The forest swallowed sound. Trees towered like rotting pillars, their bark scarred with old cuts and symbols we didn't recognize. The air smelled damp and faintly metallic. By dusk, our phones were dead. The path was gone. We realized we weren't alone when we heard chewing. It came from the dark, wet, deliberate, followed by a crack that sounded like teeth breaking through bone. Ben vomited before we even saw anything. When the sound stopped, something heavy was dragged across the leaves. Marcus went to investigate. He didn't make it 10 steps. The scream that tore out of him was short, choking, cut off like a wire snapped clean. We ran toward the sound and found him hanging upside down from a tree. Throat opened ear to ear. Blood soaked the roots beneath him, still dripping, still warm. His stomach had been split crudely, ribs pried apart. Something inside him was missing. That was when they showed themselves. They stepped out of the trees. Slowly, men and women with hollow cheeks and stained teeth, skin painted with old blood and ash. Some wore necklaces made of fingers. Others gnawed on strips of flesh as they watched us, chewing thoughtfully like they were deciding who to eat first. They didn't chase us. They herded us. Every time we ran, someone fell. Jace caught a spear through his calf and went down screaming. They didn't kill him right away. One of them knelt and bit into his shoulder, tearing away a chunk of meat with a sound like ripping cloth. Jace's screams turned into gargled sobs as they dragged him into the brush. Still alive. Tori lasted until morning. We were tied to stakes in a clearing littered with bones, human bones, bleached and cracked open for marrow. Smoke drifted from a fire where something roasted slowly. The smell was unmistakable. Sweet. Fatty. Wrong. They butchered Tori in front of us. Not fast, not merciful. When it was over, they fed pieces of her to the children. Lena begged, prayed, fought. They took her next. By the time they came for me, my wrists were raw, my throat shredded from screaming. An elder pressed a blood-slick hand to my chest, sniffed, then shook his head. Later, he said, that night, as they slept and gnawed on what was left of my friends, I chewed through the rope with broken teeth and ran. Branches tore my skin open. Thorns ripped muscle. I didn't stop. I didn't look back. The forest didn't let me leave. I thought it had road sirens, hands pulling me into a blanket, but the trees followed me. In dreams at first, then in daylight. Bark patterns that looked like faces. The smell of cooked meat drifting through places it didn't belong. 3 weeks later they found Ben. What was left of him? Strung up in a park outside town, bones picked clean. Symbols carved into his ribs. The same ones from the forest. The message was clear. You escaped. We didn't finish, so I went back. I wasn't the same person who ran barefoot and screaming. I brought a rifle this time, knives, traps. I studied how they hunted, how they stalked, how they circled, how they liked to watch fear ripen before they fed. The forest recognized me when I crossed the line. They came the first night. One stepped into my snare just before dawn. The wire sliced deep into his ankle, tendons snapping wetly. He howled. I didn't hesitate. I emptied the rifle into him until his chest looked like crushed fruit. When I rolled him over, I saw Lena's necklace around his neck. I took it back. They didn't expect resistance. Cannibals are patient predators, not soldiers. When I burned their bone charms and poisoned their water, panic spread. When I set fire to the clearing where they butchered my friends, their screams echoed through the trees like animals realizing they were prey. They tried to capture me again. I let them. I killed the first with my teeth, bit into his throat and tore until my jaw ached. The second lost his eyes to my thumbs. I used his screams to draw the others in, then lit the pit beneath them. The elder watched from the edge of the fire. The one who spared me. I dragged him into the flames slowly, held his face close enough to smell his breath, old blood and rot. You said later, I told him. He laughed as his skin split and blistered. When it was over, the forest was quiet. No footsteps, no chewing, just smoke and ash and bodies that would never hunt again. I walked out at sunrise. This time, no one followed, but sometimes, when I look in the mirror, I see the way my eyes linger too long on exposed skin, on veins, on soft places. The forest didn't just teach me how to survive, it taught me how to eat, and I don't think I'm done fighting yet.